Running a multi-billion or trillion-dollar company is hard work. It takes extreme focus and dedication, and the richest CEOs in the world are constantly traveling for business. Only you won't find uber-wealthy CEOs like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk flying commercial. Instead, they fly around the globe in luxurious private jets that double as airborne offices. CEOs of mega-cap companies are typically chauffeured around town in bulletproof vehicles and constantly surrounded by highly paid security officers. However, there are some exceptions. Notoriously frugal Warren Buffett prefers to drive himself to the Berkshire Hathaway boardroom. Here's a look at the travel habits of the world's richest CEOs. Jeff Bezos took Amazon from a fledgling online bookstore and turned it into a tech behemoth with a market cap of $1.7 trillion. With a net worth of $194.4 billion, Bezos is not only the richest CEO in the world, he's also the richest person in modern history. Running a tech conglomerate is hard work, and Bezos has to travel all over the globe. Luckily, he gets to fly in complete comfort because he owns not one, but two Gulfstream 650ER jets worth about $75 million each. The G650ER holds the record for farthest and fastest flight in business aviation in history. So flying from Amazon HQ1 in Seattle to Amazon campuses in far-off locales like Luxembourg and India is a breeze. Bezos even spent extra to customize his private jets. The G650ER has a base price of $70 million, but Bezos spent an additional $5 million on each plane. He can easily hold meetings in the air because the jets can transform from living mode to office mode. Simply move a few seats, pull up the tables from the armrests, and voila! Bezos' jets have to be in tip-top condition at all times. Who knows when he'll have to make a last-minute trip to Amazon HQ2 in Arlington, Virginia. That's why Bezos keeps his jets safely tucked away in his $5.5 million private hangar at Boeing Field, just south of Seattle. It's just a short drive away from Amazon's corporate offices and Bezos' luxurious mansion. Bezos is constantly working on big ideas, so he has no time to drive himself. He gets chauffeured to tech demos and business meetings in a $96,000 bulletproof Cadillac Escalade or a $90,000 Mercedes-Benz S450. Back in the 90s, Bezos rode in the back of a $60,000 Lincoln Stretch limo, but now he prefers to travel more discreetly. After all, he's no longer worth a mere $1 billion. Bezos is giving up his CE title in Q3 of this year and handing over the reins to Amazon Web Services CEO Andy Jassy. Bezos will be transitioning to the role of executive chairman, but he'll still have plenty on his plate. He's not retiring anytime soon and will still have to travel all around the globe for business. No one knows luxury better than Bernard Arnault. He's the CEO of luxury goods company LVMH, and he oversees some of the world's best luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and Sephora. LVMH recently bought Tiffany & Company jewelry for $15.8 billion, so it's no surprise that Arnault has a net worth of $181.3 billion. When Arnault needs to jet off to a fashion week in New York or Milan, he hops in his $54 million Dassault Falcon 7X business jet. The Falcon 7X is designed to fly 11,019 kilometers, which means Arnault can travel non-stop from LVMH headquarters in Paris to the luxurious Ginza shopping district in Tokyo. Japan spends more than $33 billion on luxury goods every year, so Arnault has to make frequent stops in the land of the rising sun. He has to know which handbags sell the best. The Dassault Falcon 7X is the first business jet with fly-by-wire technology, and it can land at almost 90% of its maximum takeoff weight. That means the jet can perform multiple short and long flights without having to refuel. Arnault travels in opulence on the ground, too. He is chauffeured around to business meetings and fashion shows in luxurious cars like his $110,000 BMW 760 Li. Elon Musk may not be quite as rich as Jeff Bezos, but he has just as many cool toys. In fact, his toys are even fancier. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO is worth about $175.5 billion, so it's no surprise that he also owns a $70 million Gulfstream G650ER A G650ER costs about $700,000 a year to operate, but Musk can afford it. He's constantly flying from Tesla's headquarters in California to SpaceX launch sites throughout the US. Musk's G650ER doubles as an office, so he can check the latest Starship specs while in the air. If the Gulfstream G650ER needs repairs, Musk can fly to SpaceX's Boca Chica, Texas launch site in his $61 million Gulfstream G550. To call Musk a frequent flyer would be an understatement. In 2018, he logged more than 250 business flights and flew more than 150,000 miles. Musk prefers to drive himself rather than be chauffeured, as it gives him a chance to test out the latest Tesla models. He mostly drives his $140,000 Tesla Model S Performance, but he's also fond of his Tesla Model 3P and his Tesla Model X. If he needs something more rugged, he opts for a $70,000 Cybertruck prototype. You might be surprised to learn that Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg doesn't own a private jet, even though he has a net worth of $110.3 billion. Instead, he charters private jets to fly him to business meetings and congressional hearings. SEC filings show that Facebook granted Zuckerberg a $23.4 million allowance in 2019 for security and personal travel expenses. $2.9 million of that sum was used to charter private jets. The tech giant set aside even more money for Zuckerberg in 2020. His security and travel costs in 2020 totaled $25 million, of which $1.8 million was used to charter private jets. Zuckerberg's security and travel expenses are so costly because he's chauffeured everywhere in bulletproof vehicles and constantly surrounded by his security team. He even has a panic chute in his office. That can't be cheap. They don't call Warren Buffett the Oracle of Omaha for nothing. Nobody can pick stocks quite like Buffett, and he doesn't spend a lot of money, even though he's worth $101.3 billion. The Berkshire Hathaway CEO prefers to live a frugal lifestyle, and rather than spending obscene amounts of cash, he donates the dough to charity. Buffett's frugality extends to the way he travels. When Buffett has to travel to shareholder meetings or head to McDonald's for an Egg McMuffin, he drives his $45,000 Cadillac XTS. You'll never find Buffett behind the wheel of an expensive supercar. In fact, he seldom buys new vehicles at all. Before he bought his 2014 Cadillac XTS, Buffett drove a 2006 Cadillac DTS, and if he has to travel across the country, he flies in his $10 million Bombardier Challenger 600. It's the same jet he used for almost 30 years. Buffett purchased his private jet as a last resort. He was against owning one for a long time and only gave in after he deemed it a business necessity. After purchasing his private jet, Buffett nicknamed it the Indefensible because he previously criticized private air travel as wasteful. When he realized he would actually get a lot of use out of the jet, he changed its nickname to the Indispensable. The world's richest CEOs spend a lot of money flying around the globe. All that travel is terrible for the environment, so CEOs often spend millions on carbon offsets. Take Bill Gates, for example. He's no longer the CEO of Microsoft, but he travels just as much as the world's richest business executives. Gates spends $7 million each year to offset his carbon footprint. It may seem like a lot, but Gates is worth $131.1 billion, so he certainly can afford it. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching.